lift up my eyes to the hills. From whence does my help come? My help comes from the Lord, who made heaven and earth. Those words from Psalm 121 began as part of a pilgrimage to Jerusalem, a song to be sung by travelers in preparation for their upcoming journey. Those first two verses contain a question and an answer. They are in part an expression of anxiety and fear as their journey is about to begin. But they are also a confession that even faith does not create a life without fear. Fear, in fact, is often helpful. It reminds us to bring with us those things that we truly need on our journey. Fear, however, can also paralyze us. I confess that almost every time I set out on some trip, some journey, I'm afraid. And I truly feel like a hobbit. Hobbits are, as Tolkien said, plain, quiet folk and have no use for adventures. Nasty, disturbing, uncomfortable things make you late for dinner. Still, there are some adventures that are necessary and an unavoidable part of life. No matter how carefully you prepare for such a journey, you will discover that you are not ever fully prepared for the realities that you are likely to face. How can you be? Every day is a journey into the unknown. To try and make it otherwise is futile. Life is lived somewhere between the boundaries of fear and the promises of faith. Somehow this psalm has captured that truth in just a few words. As one commentator said, the hills are not the place from which help comes. Rather, they are the place where help is needed. God comes to us on our journey. Both fear and faith are going to be a part of life. But the assurance is that the help we need will be there when we need it. The church window here displays our small church, the place of faith that it is, where travelers can gather and prepare for their journey through life. Two names are memorialized by this window. One of these is Linda Fitzsimmons. She deeply loved this little church, and she made sure that this church would always focus outward as well as inward. Thanks to her work on our mission committee, this small church has raised a very sizable amount each and every month to support causes both local and far away that helps people in need. People whom we will never see within its walls. It is part of her legacy that this history of charitable giving still continues today. The second name memorialized by this window is that of Brian Conklin, whose life was about helping people. He was a paramedic who worked with life flight services, helping and comforting those who were making what was often a journey filled with fear. He was highly respected within the medical field and received a prestigious award for his innovative approaches to solving problems in healthcare. And he was also a rock climber, an adventurer. He truly loved the mountains. The Sandia Mountains pictured in the background here were his, and he knew them well, going places and scaling heights that most of us can only imagine. He died in 2015 at the age of 40, doing what he loved best, adventuring in the mountains. Embedded in our window, there is also a small promise in the traditional form of a dove. It is the promise that Jesus made to his disciples before their journey into the world began. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid. His words echo the promise of 121, the promise that on our journey, somewhere between fear and faith, we will not be alone. Our help will come from the Lord. The rest of Psalm 121 is really a blessing, pronounced perhaps by the local rabbi upon these travelers as they were about to leave on their journey. The Lord watches over you. The Lord is your shade at your right hand. The sun will not harm you by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord will keep you from all harm. He will watch over your life. The Lord will watch over your coming and going, both now and forevermore. We often include these words in our funeral rites now, for the sake of the living, not the dead, because there is here that promise of a pathway from the moment of grief to the life that will follow. And there is here a promise that the Lord will be with us on that pathway too. Let me tell you about another little church, one that is even smaller than ours is. The church I am thinking about can only hold about 39 people, but that is okay because the entire population of Wasdale Head is only about 30. It is located in England in an area originally settled by Vikings, and the foundations of this church are over 1,000 years old. Each year, over 25,000 people pass through Wasdale Head, and many stop to visit this little church. The community is located in an incredibly scenic place known as the Lake District. Here you will find the deepest lake in all of England and the highest mountain peak as well. Many hikers start their journey here in this church, and many come to go rock climbing as well. The little church is almost always open, and it has become a stopping place for some to pray before they set out upon the trail. Inside the church, in one of the side windows, there is a small pane of glass with the familiar words of Psalm 121 on it, along with a picture of a rock formation that is called Nape's Needle. The window itself is one part of a memorial to the Fell and Rock Climbing Club, whose original members died in the trenches during World War I. Elsewhere, you will find their names listed, although the original plaque has since traveled and been on display all over England. The journey these daring young men made took them to a place that was very far from home. But somehow that seems less important than the fact that they found here the courage they needed to live life fully. They scaled the heights, and they lived their lives for what really mattered to them. And perhaps that is also what this psalm is all about, adventuring in the mountains. It is safer never to do so, but life is worth the risk. So why not live the life you choose and trust God to be your help along the way? Those who climb mountains, either physically or metaphorically, understand this. There is a somewhat comical and yet meaningful prayer going around that is called the Rock Climber's Prayer. It goes like this. Dear Lord, I realize I could be better and do better, and I'll get back to that in a moment. But right now, I've got a problem. I'm hanging on to a little nibbin of rock, not sure I'm going to be able to make the next move. My knees are shaking, my arms are tired, and falling is going to hurt a lot. Dear Lord, here's the deal. Help me stretch to make this move. Get me to the top safe and sound, and I'm all yours. Every Sunday, twice on Easter, I promise, forever. Who in life has not uttered that prayer? If not in content, then at least in purpose. From a place of fear in life, reaching out for faith. This journey through life that we make is fraught with danger, and it is also a finite one. Life has a beginning and an end, but even at the end, life comes with this promise. We are not alone. Be safe, and God bless you, but trust in the Lord as well, and live bravely.